And this is for both of you and also for you. Where do you think we're headed? Because the reason why I say this is because according to physicists, right, entropy is inevitable, right?
Yes.
Entropy, you know what entropy is?
Yes.
Everything, long story short, everything in the universe will eventually die. Eventually, right? So if that is the case, where are we headed? And secondly, all the energy that we've birthed, or at least that has been conveyed and conserved all throughout the Big Bang, what will happen to that energy? No?
I don't know.
Yeah.
She does not know. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode on Let's Talk About Us with Uche Streets Edition. I am Uche, the host of this podcast and YouTube video. I'm here with my buddy Jacob, and we're here at Rice University in Houston, Texas. We're going to be walking around talking to a bunch of strangers and asking some questions about spirituality, about God, existence, their purpose in life, and the connection of one with all. Basically trying to push people to think. Think about existential things. Do you believe in God? Do you not believe in God? What are you doing before your time on this earth is over? That's basically what it is. So come with me, come with us as we talk to these strangers. Let's go. Hello, ma'am. Hi, good afternoon. You have 5 minutes for a quick question. We're independent researchers.
Sure.
We're talking about spirituality and God, whether or not you believe in it, and what are your takes. That's it.
Yes, I believe in a higher power.
Great.
I don't really call it God because it feels masculine. No offense.
No. We're independent, so we don't follow any religion or whatever. We're just trying to understand people's, because I believe that we're all one, we're all connected. Right. So we're trying to understand what people believe that God is, what their purpose is in life, and where we're going after we die. So first of all, what's your name?
Jennifer.
Jennifer, my name is Uche. This is my buddy Jacob.
Hi.
We are YouTubers on YouTube. Feel free to follow us. These are our links. So please tell me, what do you believe in God?
I really believe in energy.
Energy.
That it's everyone's putting out energy. So what some people call prayer, it's energy. And I believe in putting positive energy out there.
So where is that energy coming from, and where is it headed to?
So I believe it's all coming from the inside, it's going to the outside, and we're taking in everything that's out there, right? So I want to be around people with positive energy, positive vibes, because I absolutely believe that affects your outlook, your health, both physically and mentally and emotionally. I believe heaven and hell are not some other place. They're inside.
Yes. So Jacob and I, we believe in the oneness of all, and to us that is spirituality, and which means that literally everything and everyone living is all connected. Do you believe in that?
Yes.
So do you believe? We also believe in divine manifestation, as in we're one, but we manifest in different forms because we necessarily need to manifest in different forms. Hence why you look different from me. It is important for you to be the way you are, just like it's important for me to be the way I am, because we're here on a purpose. Do you believe in that?
Yeah, absolutely.
What would you say your purpose in life is?
My purpose is to raise empowered girls.
Empowered girls.
Yes.
And what do you hope your daughters would achieve in this life?
Independence, self-love, confidence, security, and courage. Not fearless, because if you have no fear, then you can't be brave, but courage.
And what impact would you hope for your daughters to leave in this world before they leave?
The same thing.
To
empower other girls.
Other women.
Yes.
So I'm guessing you do want to dismantle patriarchy.
Absolutely.
Could you give us a quick summary of what patriarchy is doing to our society that is not right? There's no right or wrong answer, by the way. And if you don't feel comfortable.
There's a whole lot of right answer. You want to start right here in the great state of Texas. Patriarchy is stripping women of their rights.
Absolutely.
And, it's happening around the country. And it's stunning, not a surprise, given, we knew it would happen when Trump took office and Supreme Court seats were stolen. But, and in Texas, it just emboldened people who before really didn't have an agenda. I think Abbott used to, and then he just switched to whatever advances his own political career, like most politicians right now.
Yeah.
So
the corruption seeps in.
Yeah.
Awesome. So real quick, before I let you go, so we also do believe in dismantling patriarchy from a more spiritual perspective, because I believe that in order for God to be present, or at least unity and balance to be present, the masculine and feminine energy need to be in one and work together. And unfortunately, we don't have that, as you see with patriarchy, you have masculine energy being put on a pedestal and feminine energy being dismantled.
Right.
And as a result, we have chaos
Yes.
in the world, right? So before we leave, because we're almost at that 5 minutes mark, what message would you leave for the rest of the world? Anyone watching about patriarchy, about spirituality, about feminine energy, about feminism?
That to lift up women doesn't mean you're putting men down.
Yes.
Don't be so intimidated by it or threatened by it. I personally think the Catholic Church, when it formed and it got rid of the matriarchal society, I believe, I'm a Christian and I don't believe the Bible is the word of God. Heresy, right? It's the word of men who were politically motivated. So what I believe is bring back the female voices. Whether you're a Christian, whether you're a Muslim, whether you're a Jew, I don't care what you are, purple, polka dot, believe in, unicorns, doesn't matter.
Perfect.
It's all connected, as you said, and the masculine and the feminine, it's yin and yang. You need both. But right now we're way out of balance.
Thank you so much. Bring back the feminine energy. Thank you so much. What's your name again?
Jennifer.
Jennifer, thank you. My name is Uche and that's Jacob. Thank you for your 5 minutes, okay? Have a good rest of your day.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Hello, do you have 5 minutes to spare?
Yeah, sure.
Hi, my name is Uche. This is my buddy Jacob. We're YouTubers who just try to talk to a bunch of random people about spirituality, about God. Do you believe in God? Do you believe in spirituality?
I'm a very spiritual person, but I wouldn't say I believe in God.
Perfect. Before we get started, what's your name real quick?
Olivia.
Olivia. Awesome. So what would you define as spirituality?
Definitely believe that there is a higher power, and I believe that, there is like workings within the universe and whatnot, but I wouldn't say there's like a single person kind of calling the shots up there. And I think you kind of like what energy you put in, you get out. And, there is something that is kind of guiding your path, but not in the way that like other people think and not in the way where it's like a tally system, like heaven or hell type deal.
So you think that this higher power is separate from us?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Jacob and I believe in the oneness of all. And to us, that is a definition of spirituality, as in literally everything is connected.
So it's kind of like that. Like, like with like the connecting, like kind of what you're saying, and just, like the totality of it all.
Totality. So which is like one big massive body, which means that I am literally you and you are literally me and we're literally everything, just that we manifest in different forms because we manifest necessarily. Does that make sense? You want me to say that again?
That makes sense. I like that.
Yeah, so one of our favorite authors is Eckhart Tolle. He's a spiritual teacher, he's also German. Our belief in spirituality is basically that we're all one, before we're born, before we die, and after we die, we're all returned to the sea of energy, and then life as we know right now is a temporary manifestation, and we manifest in exact forms that we manifest in because it is necessary that we manifest in these forms. So you and I are one, we're literally the same. It's just that you manifest in this form because it's necessary for you to exist in that form, just like it's necessary for me to exist in this form. It's like it's necessary for them to exist in that form, just like it's necessary for all of this to exist in that form. And together we're all the dance of infinity, which exemplifies God. Does that sound right or no?
I like that. Yeah, I'm more of like, I kind of believe in like reincarnation, that stuff, and I kind of like the idea that it's like, I feel like what I'm getting at is kind of like reincarnation in the sense of like what you need to do at that moment, and the way that you can benefit the universe best is the way that you're kind of like form that you're gonna be reincarnated from. If I'm kind of getting somewhat of that.
So it sounds like you do agree in divine calling and purpose.
Yes.
So what would you say your purpose is?
You see, I'd want to say, just kind of like help and spread happiness to others, but I don't know if that's too basic of a question.
Yeah, I know. But okay, what would you say your calling, like when you think about whatever it is that you naturally gravitate towards, you as an individual, what is it?
Oh God, I wish I knew. I don't know. I just kind of gravitate towards just like, like the arts and happiness and just, good vibes and whatnot. I'm still trying to figure out that life purpose thing. Still working on that one.
So what are you, you're a student here at Rice University? Mm-hmm. What are you studying?
I'm a dual major in sociology and studio art with a minor in medical humanities.
So what would you want to do with your degree?
I want to go into social work in a hospital.
Social work in a hospital. So it seems like you are into healthcare, taking care of people?
I want to go into like the mental health aspect of it, and just I feel like it's such a scary experience being in hospitals and whatnot, particularly ICU care, and I want to be able to help people's experience and their families' experience to make that time a little less troubling.
Mental health. Okay, that is your purpose, because there's a lot of mental health depreciation, unfortunately, and it's actually gotten worse and is projected to get significantly worse because a lot of those kind of discussions are not being had. Would you agree?
Oh, 100%.
And what would you say triggered you to pursue this path?
Just my own experiences kind of growing up with multiple health problems and being in and out of hospitals. I found that there's like certain healthcare workers that make the experience like a lot worse, and then I've definitely have some that have made it like so much better, like not only on myself but like on my family, and just have made like a world of difference. And I want to be one of those people that can make such like a hard experience and a little bit easier for others.
And would you say that's the legacy you'd like to leave behind?
I want it to be part of my legacy.
Part of your legacy, so you have other legacies you want to leave behind?
I think I do.
Okay, so because we're at the 5 minutes mark almost, before we leave, what suggestion would you give to anyone watching right now in terms of spirituality, mental health, totality of all?
Oh, that's a big one. I mean, for spirituality, I think, kind of listen to the way that you want to practice it, and, don't take into account what you think you're supposed to practice. And, like I always joke, like with my family, if you go way back, like my my line, my descendants, they founded Congregational Protestantism. So it's kind of like we're supposed to all follow that. But, both me, my mom, my grandparents kind of, it's what fulfills you and, the way that makes you happy. And on the terms of mental health, I think one of my favorite quotes is, you spend the rest of your life in your head, make sure you make it a good place to be.
Okay. So to summarize everything, correct me if I'm wrong, do not be a conformist, follow your own path. Is that right?
Yeah, do what makes you happy and, find your spiritual way in whatever way that makes you the most content.
Perfect. Thank you so much. What's your name again?
Of course, Olivia.
Olivia. Thank you so much, Olivia.
Of course.
Feel free to follow us on Instagram and Facebook and all of we have QR codes. Feel free.
Yes,
we have YouTube.
for sure.
Thank you so much, okay? Have a good rest of your day. Hello, beautiful ladies. You guys have 5 minutes for us. We're YouTubers trying to ask like really quick questions. Yeah, we're just talking to people about God, religion, if you guys believe in that or not. We're just independent researchers. We just want to collect people's opinions on God and spirituality, what you guys believe.
I believe in God.
You believe,
I'm a Catholic.
You're Catholic.
Catholic.
So who do you think God is?
The happiness.
God is what?
The happiness and the people.
Happiness in the people.
The love.
Love.
The share.
The what?
Share.
Sharing.
Sharing, okay. Mm-hmm. So where would you say you got your Catholic doctrines from? Your family, or where specifically did you get your doctrines from?
I was born with.
You were born in it.
Yes.
Have you ever questioned anything outside of the Catholic doctrine?
Yes, a lot, but I'm going back in the same place.
Okay. So how would you say that you embody the Catholic doctrines as written in the Bible?
Yes.
How would you say you exemplify God in your personal life?
Hard to explain.
I know. And feel free to chip in as well. What's your name?
Carol.
Carol. And your name?
Marilena.
Marilena. Okay, so feel free to chip in and feel free to answer as you wish. How would you say, and if that's too much of a big question, I can ask you something different. Okay, another question. So considering the state of the world we live in right now, would you say that there's God or there's no God in this world right now?
It's God in this one.
There's God, even with all the tragic things happening right now?
Yes.
Okay, what are some of the things that you think we could do better to unify people more in terms of what God would prefer us to do it, according to Catholic faith?
That's a very hard turn.
What would you think about that? Considering the current state of the world, how would you think that people could be better exemplifying God? That is assuming that you do believe in God.
Yes, I think the best way would be to think about treating others as we would like to be treated ourselves, to really devote thought to the fact that a person often spends a lot of time thinking about how they consider an issue, and even though you don't agree with the person, you should understand that that is a right a person has. And so if you and you could share with them that you respect that, but that you yourself have thought about the same bigger question and taken a different approach, and you'd like to share what your reasoning is on what drew you to choose the approach that you prefer, so that you're not criticizing that person's opinion, you're not shutting it out, and you could say, I'm open to hearing what your analysis is, so perhaps if we talk about it, we can each help each other see another perspective and maybe find a blend of the two.
Awesome. It sounds like you're advocating for emotional intelligence.
Yes, yes.
Yes? Would you say that there's not enough emotional intelligence in our time today?
Well, I wouldn't.
Not enough.
I think it exists. I think often the people who have that don't express themselves, maybe because they are going to be softer, gentler people, perhaps, who aren't as inclined to raise the voice or be as inclined to advocate because they're more reflective and inner-driven. And I think that a lot of people maybe have had some occurrence that put them in an anger place, and they can't, a person can't always find a way out of anger. And so they're trapped by the anger they have into approaching an issue to begin with from the wrong place. And I think that a lot of prejudice really comes from naivete. If you don't know other people who are different from you, who haven't come from your same little realm, if your world's been a little bit small, you haven't had a chance to appreciate the fact that if you're just with people from other religions or cultures or types of education, approaches to family or whatever it is, that if you just spend a little time with them, you might find that a person's a person.
So it sounds like you're advocating to take your time to get to know people outside of yourself.
Correct.
Thank you so much. That is the end of our 5 minutes today. Real quick, what is your names again?
Carol.
Carol and
Maria Elena.
Maria Elena. Thank you so much for your time.
Say also, frankly, that I think a lot of discussions would be better served having them outdoors. I find that there's something about four walls that gives you that closed-in, trapped feeling. You're not ready to be open.
Yes.
If more people spent time in nature or would have conversations outdoors, because even if you feel anger, hurt, pressure, stress, I find if you just walk out and look up at the sky, that's a big opening. You may live in an apartment. I've been in many different kinds of environments, of very dense population, of very different financial circumstances, but there's always some street or some place you can get and have a bigger view. And that in and of itself does something to us as human beings, because I happen to believe in evolution. I am a science-based, educated person, and I found that to be completely rational. And I think that if you look at the greater stream, even if you just look at the greater stream of BC forward, man's experience was not that which we are having right now. We were not in as many enclosed and air-controlled spaces, which actually shrinks your point of view.
Yes, I totally agree. We do believe in the oneness and connection of all, and we do believe that we are one, all of us. So it makes more sense that if you are out in nature, you feel complete, because nature has a healing effect, because it connects with you and you connect with it, as opposed to being locked away. And unfortunately, you see what's happening in our society today. There's so much segregation, so much demarcation. A lot of people are shut off from the rest of the world. There's a lot of that being perpetuated. Last question. because we're super out of time.
Great, by the way, yeah.
Thank you so much. Really last question. Do you think there's hope for the human race?
I do.
Do you?
I do.
You guys heard it here. Thank you so much for both of you for your 7 minutes and 8 minutes of time. We definitely do appreciate it. We are on YouTube at Let's Talk About Us with Uche. We have QR codes if you guys are interested in following. No pressure whatsoever, but we do appreciate your time, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Out. Hi, my name is Uche. This is my buddy Jacob. You guys have 5 minutes real quick to spare for quick questions. We're just doing an independent research on what people believe, if people believe in God, spirituality, what that is to you. Do you guys believe in God, spirituality? Do you guys ever question anything?
We're not religious.
Yeah, me neither. We're just independent researcher. We're just collecting data on what people think. If you guys ever have any existential crisis whatsoever, that's it. Do you guys believe in anything?
Not really. We believe in science, I guess.
You believe in science. Awesome. So you don't believe there's, where do you think we came from as humans?
Monkey.
Monkeys? And prior to that, before you were born?
Dinosaurs.
Before you were born, do you believe in energy or anything like that?
Probably there's energy, but like soul for the soul, but like the body is coming from the.
Okay, that's okay. I'll come from the science perspective. So you believe in science?
Yeah.
Big Bang Theory. What happened before the Big Bang Theory?
I haven't really think of it, but yeah, I believe it's like improved from how to say that, like monkey or fish, like come from some lower level like creatures.
Okay, so you're talking about physicality, right? Like us humans, we came from apes, and apes came from single organisms and things like that. We're talking about before all of that. Like, where did that come from? Because in physics, right, we learned that energy can neither be destroyed nor created, but can be conserved and converted from one form to the other, right? So if the Big Bang Theory emitted so much energy into the universe and birthed our universe as we know, right? Where did that energy come from? If science said that energy cannot be created nor destroyed. So it means that that energy has always existed, right? Or at least existed from somewhere else. So you as scientists, I'm guessing you're a scientist, right? Or you believe in science anyway. So what would you hypothesize that energy came from before it birthed our universe?
As energy is always stay the same, like the total amount. I guess maybe it's from some other place, other planet or somewhere, but I believe it's always the total amount keeps the same.
Okay. So according to science, right, the universe was birthed from something very tiny like this, which is very difficult to try to conceptualize, right? But you're saying that energy has always been the same throughout the universe, right? Even though it's just compacted into that little golf ball that exploded into literally everything we have. Atoms, molecules, and photons, and neutrons, and neutrinos, all the way till the universe, the vast end of the universe. You believe in that, right? Mm-hmm. But where did that energy, has it always been compacted? All of its existence? Was it compressed? Was it expanded before and compressed? Is it like an expansion and contraction? Is that what you believe? Or you just haven't thought about that?
Yeah, I really haven't thought about that.
It's possible. It's long time ago, and it's possible. It's what kind of status the energy being, but. Yeah, we don't know actually.
Okay, that's fine, because we don't know either. That's why we're doing this, right?
Good question for scientists to do some experimentation.
Exactly, because that's what we're doing. So many people have these questions, but not a lot of people are having these conversations. So we're actually taking initiative to ask people to see what what people are thinking. We're looking at it from a more spiritual perspective, and spirituality to us is the oneness of all. I believe, and he believes as well, that we are all connected from a spiritual level. So that energy that you say stays the same, can never be destroyed or birthed, has always been in existence throughout the infinity of time, and we perceive that as God, and we think that it manifests itself in literally everything around, right? And we owe to each other to literally work with each other to exemplify God, right? But again, it's a spiritual perspective that we believe. That's why we're doing this, to kind of understand other people's perspectives. And I know you guys got to go, but lastly, right, since you believe in science, where do you think we're headed? Since you couldn't tell me where you think we came from, where do you think it's coming next? We're making Rice University students think.
We're actually alumni.
Alumni, right? Even better. So you've already passed the Rice.
It's funny. We're always like trying to find another planet to live, or because the Earth is already occupied by humans, and we're trying to find like if there are other possibility that other kind of like matters exist outside of the galaxy, or it's like people always exploring. I think that's where the science heading to, like outside of the Earth, like what can they find?
And you believe evolution will basically continue from there?
Yeah.
Okay. Lastly, okay, since you brought that up, according to physicists, right, entropy is inevitable. Do you guys have background in science, by the way? I have background in biology, so that's why I know a lot of these science. If you guys don't, please don't feel pressured. Okay, I can explain. But according to physicists, right, entropy is inevitable. Entropy is basically the movement of matter, atoms, from a place of concentration dispersed into the universe till death, basically. So long story short, literally everything in the universe eventually will die, including photons. Well, we're not sure about photons, but more than likely it's hypothesized that photons also will die eventually if the universe continues expanding at the rate it's expanding. And we don't know what's going on, with dark matter, dark energy, and all of that. But based on what we know right now, if everything continues as is, eventually the universe will come at a standstill, death. Do you guys believe in that?
It's possible.
So, contradiction. If energy will always stay the same and everything is dead, what happened to that energy?
Another big one.
There what?
Another big one.
Huh?
Another big one.
Another Big Bang. But where would that come from, though?
I don't know, but as the theory is like the energy stay the same, it must like transfer to somewhere else, or like exist in somewhere else.
So another golf ball would just immerse from nothing with the same amount of energy?
I'm sorry?
Another golf ball size, because that's where the Big Bang came from, like from a golf ball sized, whatever it is, right? It would just appear from nowhere? Or the universe would just collapse in on itself and explode again?
Might just be like, again, a cycle, like a
Cycle.
like something like similar to the Big Bang again, or I'm not like super knowledgeable on that, but I think a lot of things are just a cycle.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for your time. So this is our first science-based people, and they don't know a lot of answers, and which means that there's a lot of information that we still need to research on, because science is basically our way to understand the physiological world. Thank you guys so much. What are your names?
Fiona.
Fiona?
Yoi?
My name is Uche. That's my buddy Jacob. We're YouTubers. Feel free to follow us on YouTube at Let's Talk with Uche. We have a QR code if you guys are interested. No pressure if you guys don't want to. And is it okay if we use this video for YouTube?
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you so much. God bless. Bye-bye.
Nice to meet y'all.
Thank you. You guys have like 5 minutes real quick? We're walking around just doing independent research. That's it. Yeah? Awesome. Perfect. I am so sorry. I know you got to take a picture. Super quick. We're independent researchers researching on totality and oneness and all. We're very spiritual, and our definition of spirituality is we're all connected. Do you guys believe in God? Are you guys spiritual at all?
Yeah.
Yes? Yes?
I'm more of a spiritual person. I don't believe in God.
You say what?
I don't believe in God.
You don't believe in God. Do you believe in God?
Yeah, I do.
Do you believe in God?
Yeah, I believe.
Also, we have 2 people and against 1. So also, what would you say God is, and why do you believe in God?
So I think God is like, it's an energy, and like it's the same energy, like which is like everywhere, whether it's a human being or any other creature, or it's a non-living thing, it's the same energy. So that's what I believe, that it's a single energy, which is God.
And would you say the single energy manifests itself in literally everything necessarily?
Yes.
As in, it is impossible for you not to be in this form. It is impossible for him not to be in this form. It's impossible for me not to be in this form. It is impossible for those trees to not exist. It's impossible for everything to not exist because they are divinely fine-tuned and necessary to exist in the way that they exist. Like, as perfect.
Yeah. Like,
does that make sense?
So you're saying that like it's an energy which makes like me a human being and not the other thing as a human? That's what you are asking?
Yes. So we believe in spirituality and the oneness of all, which all of that is God. And God manifests itself in so many different ways, like necessarily, because God is perfection, the epitome of perfection. So literally nothing that exists could not have existed out of coincidence, chance. It is divinely fine-tuned. So it is perfectly fine-tuned, perfectly necessary for you to exist in the form that you exist in, because you are God manifested in this form.
Yes.
Just like I'm God manifested in this form, just like you are God manifested in this form, just like every single bacteria we're sitting on right now are God manifested in that form. Every molecule and atom that we're breathing in and breathing out is God. You're saying yes, but you don't believe in God.
I don't believe in God.
Okay.
It's also like karma.
No, I would just say this is the evolution only, because this is just evolution. So if there has been a God, he must have been specifically created that thing. But this is slowly it has evolved. So now what's the sense of the God then? Because it has slowly evolved. But if God has specifically made that thing, then we could say that. But being a scientist or working in the field of a science scholar, I will just say that this is an evolution. From the atoms, we have been evolved to the present state now, and we are changing, and we don't know what we are going to be in near future and after 100 years or 200, whatever it is. Yes.
Okay, I totally understand where you're coming from, and I've definitely been there. I think one of the issues with that logic is because a lot of people, when they think about God and say they don't believe in God, is because we have created God in our own image, as opposed to the other way around.
Yes.
So God is not a man, in my opinion, is not a man or a woman or an entity. God is being. Being meaning that it is a never-ending process.
Yes.
It is a process, not a person.
No.
So with that definition, would you say that you believe in God?
I will not say that I believe.
Still science? Okay, awesome. So if you believe in science, what's your scientific background, by the way, if you have any?
I'm working as a life scientist, working on the respiratory diseases.
Okay. So according to physics, right? Energy can neither be destroyed nor created, right? What would you say existed before the Big Bang theory?
This much of information I don't know.
You don't know?
I will not say that.
Okay.
So if they say, but in that case,
Yeah, so what I think before Big Bang, there was nothing. It's called like nothingness. And and then there was a play of energy when this Big Bang happened. So everything like came from nothingness. So the basis of everything is nothingness. So before Big Bang, there was nothing. That's what I think.
So
Everything came from that nothingness. Yeah.
So would you say nothingness has always existed?
Yeah, even now it exists and things are happening from that nothingness. So it's in the lap of nothingness that everything is happening. Everything is getting manifested.
Okay, so give me an example of nothingness that's happening right now.
So for instance, say it's like a board.
Whiteboard.
Yeah, just in a layman language.
Okay.
And if you put a dot over there, so where that dot happened, it happened on a board, which is nothing. Okay? So it's nothingness, the creation, like the universe, nothing is there. And then like the galaxies, the planets, everything is coming from that nothingness.
But that kind of defies energy not being able to be created. So do you believe in that physicists say that nothing...
Like energy can neither be created nor destroyed.
So how come if there was nothing before the Big Bang or evolution and all of that, how come nothingness birthed energy? Because we are balls of energy. How come energy come from nothingness?
So what I believe, like there were some changes in the universe. Because of that, from nothingness, things started coming out. Like the galaxies or the planets or Milky Way or whatever you want to say.
Changes in the universe. So it seems like changes require energy to occur.
Yeah.
So where did that energy come from? From nothingness?
So it was like in a what we call like hibernated way. That's what I think. That's
Or that may
And
have
then-
been just concentrated in just a dot.
yes.
It may have been just energy, huge amount of like whole energy would have been just concentrated at a point in a dot, and when it burst, it bursted like something, and then this energy would have been dispersed all around the.
Yeah, but where did it come from? And if it's just concentrated in a dot, it doesn't. There's nothing.
Scientists they didn't even find out, but I think what are meant by nothingness is, I mean, earlier there was not any scientific evidences for those things. Maybe that's why it was nothing. But nowadays, I mean, scientists are researching about this, so maybe they are getting evidences. Even I think in space also they found out like they are hearing Om sound. I'm from Hindu background. Like, I'm Hindu, so yeah, that Om sound is like very important for us. And yeah, they said so. I think maybe that's what I mean.
So basically, would you say that Om sound is like a reflection of God in the universe, the presence of God?
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's what they heard in space.
So, if you also believe in nothingness, would you say God is nothingness?
I mean, of course, we haven't seen any God. I mean, like any physical form.
Okay.
Of course, we have different images of God.
Of course.
But we didn't see. So
Okay.
that's why, I mean, I don't know. We cannot define, basically. That's why we'll say it's nothing.
Okay. Lastly, I know you guys got it.
Some kind of force, power, you can say, which is driving this whole universe.
I agree. I know you guys got to keep taking your pictures before the sun goes down. And very last question, right? Very last questions. And this is for both of you and also for you. Where do you think we're headed? Because the reason why I say this is because according to physicists, right, entropy is inevitable, right?
Yes.
Entropy, you know what entropy is?
Yes.
Everything, long story short, everything in the universe will eventually die. Eventually, right? So if that is the case, where are we headed? And secondly, all the energy that we've birthed, or at least that has been conveyed and conserved all throughout the Big Bang, what will happen to that energy? No?
I don't know.
She does not know.
What
And the science guy doesn't know either.
So what will happen to that energy, right? So what I think that yes, this whole universe, even everything is going to end one day, but that energy, because it's not that once the universe get ended, it will not have the starting point. Maybe that energy is utilized to have other universe. For instance, the parallel universes are there. So if one universe is getting ended, maybe that energy is utilized to create another universe. So that energy will be manifested in other way. So it's like a cyclical process.
A cycle.
Yeah, that's what I
would you say is a never-ending cycle of infinity?
Yeah.
And that is God.
Yeah.
Wow, awesome. Thank you so much. What are your names again?
Ankita.
Ankita?
My name is Atul.
Akton?
I'm Ruchi.
Ruchi. We are on YouTube. Let's Talk About Us with Uche. Feel free to follow. No pressure if you guys don't want to follow. And if you check it out, it's not your thing, don't feel pressure, okay? Thank you so much, and God bless. Maybe science blessed, but God bless. Bye-bye.
Yes.